So, yeah, there's 2 books. Did I say 2 books? I thought there was 2 in here. Where was the other one? I thought there was another book that looked interesting. Oh, this one I thought was really cool. It all began with steam. And this person who wrote this book, you know, and a lot of these things, when you write a book, there's always other scholars that debate, you know, what you have to say. And I get people like, you know, challenging me or trying to debate me on YouTube and, you know, on Fez Night. And I would say, look, I'm not an expert in a lot of these things. I just read the paper, I look at television, and I have a curious mind, I think. You know, I don't think I have an uncurious mind. And I like to just learn things on the surface. And if there's somebody that has anything to add where they can go into more depth, or they're an expert in the field, feel free to post a response video. I'll gladly accept it. Okay, so it all began with steam, the most powerful idea in the world. And in this, speaking of the 4th of July, the Industrial Revolution began in Great Britain. And a lot of it has to do, and this person says, the steam engine is what really defined the Industrial Revolution. And the first time I heard of this term, and they use it in the story, steampunk. Monk created a channel called Steampunk Monk. And I was like, what is this steampunk? And it's this very interesting fashion. I really think it's cool. And if I had the time or wherewithal or the motivation or other people that were interested to hang out and do this, I would like to be a steampunk. And what it is, it's a lot like that sort of Jules Verne, like turn of the century Industrial Revolution style, mixed with like modern technology. And it's much like, it has a lot in common with, I don't know if you remember the Back to the Future series, but where the doctor, instead of the DeLorean, later he used a steam locomotive as a time machine. And so it has this very turn of the century Victorian era look to it, but it's a time machine. You know, and you remember it had to get at a certain rate of speed in order to do this leap in time or whatever. And he was doing it with a steam locomotive. And it involves like this sort of like, in fact, I think there was a Thomas Dolby video that sort of had a steampunk look to it, fashion. So what it is, it's like, you know, women with bustles, women with bustles, you know, and men with those like double like button shirts and all that, you know. Anyway, I think it's kind of cool. I think it's sort of elegant. And so it made me think, you know, since steam power used coal, okay, it's a dirty technology. But the steam itself, just the water vapor being released, and it got me thinking, well, if we had some sort of, you know, technology that was just creating heat, you know, of course that's energy, creating heat, and, you know, we're still at a loss for that as a good substitute for coal or gasoline, any of the fossil fuels to create heat. Essentially, nuclear power plants use steam, and they use nuclear fission to create the heat. So, I don't know, I think it'd be wonderful if we could have steam cars and anything that requires a motor, you know, like in trucks and tractors and, you know, forklifts and all the industrial machines that need motors, ships. If we could go back to steam, but we still need that clean burning fuel. Anyway, but I think steam's a wonderful thing. Steam engines, very cool. All right, so there's that. Looked at the newspaper, talked about OB. And so let me we're going to put somebody on speakerphone and have a quick chat. Okay? All right, let's see. Okay, I'm going to speak loudly over this as it dials so we don't hear the beep, 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 beep. Okay, there we go. There it's ringing. You better pick up.
Hello?
I think I got the wrong number. Who is this?
I don't know. Who is this?
Hey, I'm calling Monk. Is Monk there?
No, he's not. He's
Hey, Monk, this is Citizenkong. Hey, I liked your 4th of July video. The weather looks beautiful there, and you live in a beautiful, like, tree-lined street there.
Yeah, I live in Logan Square in Chicago.
Logan Square. So if you know...
90-something degrees. The weather is not beautiful.
Oh. Well, it's kind of cool and overcast here. Anyway, enough about the weather. Hey, you want to talk about your contest? Monk is having a contest.
I am?
Yes, Monk's having a contest, and you submit a video, and you can win a mono box set of Beatles tunes. Oh, and I did a little talk about the Beatles, about a new book that's coming out. So, anyway, you can watch Fez Night and see that. Yeah, you hate the Beatles.
I like Yellow Submarine, but I hate the Beatles.
You really do, huh?
They were a subversive group of communists. Elvis was right about them.
Elvis is right. Let me turn the volume up. Hope everybody can hear this.
What is that? What is that?
I was trying to turn the volume up.
Are you taping this conversation?
Yes, I am. You're on Fez Night.
Hello, Fezizens.
Yeah. Well, I myself...
Enter my contest or I'll blow up the world.
Yeah. I myself love the Beatles, and including Yellow Submarine. And I've always questioned somebody that doesn't like the Beatles. I kind of wonder something up with them. But I do have some good friends that don't like the Beatles.
Deep-seated hatred.
They're just not right, are they? They probably don't believe in God.
Why do you think they shot John Lennon?
Yeah, why? Because he was subversive. He was a communist.
That's right. He opened his mouth. He was like you.
Yeah, right. Always talking.
He was a liberal blabbermouth.
I know the FBI had a case file on John Lennon, didn't they?
You know what the problem is with John Lennon? He didn't have a contingency plan when he moved into the Dakota in New York City.
Damn it! You needed a contingency plan.
Always have a contingency plan.
Yeah. What is a contingency plan?
Or chaos will erupt in society.
Well, there's some of us...
Just ask my good friend Jeff.
Yeah, well, Jeff's been predicting chaos for a long time, but I haven't really...
Like Charles Manson, remember Helter Skelter?
Helter Skelter, that he was going to spark a race war, and he claimed that the Beatles told him to.
That's right, and he told him to run out and butcher a pregnant woman, and smear the blood on the wall and write pigs.
Yeah, that was a terrible time. That was the end of the Love Generation, kind of, wasn't it?
They had it coming.
That and Altamont.
The Love Generation, that is.
Yeah.
We're living too high on the hog.
Oh, there's some of us still left. There's still some of us left over from that.
Damn hippies.
Yeah.
Long-haired weirdos.
You know, speaking of which, speaking of Jeff.
Huh?
Jeff, you know I love Jeff, and that whole thing that came out, I wish it would have come out in another way, but...
What thing?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, that, I know what you're talking about. Now, that's embarrassing. Why do you keep sticking your foot in your mouth?
Oh, it's just what just what I do. I wouldn't be Citizenkong if I didn't stick my foot in my mouth every now and then. But you know what? People that don't stick their foots in their mouth, people that never stick their feet in their mouth, never say anything.
Yeah, just walk in your own mouth and use your tongue as a doormat.
Oh, gross. Do you remember that old, that reminds me, remember that old TV commercial where they say, you ever wake up in the morning, it feels like the entire Japanese army had marched through it, and shows like these feet marching through mud?
Oh.
No, you don't remember that commercial?
No.
That just popped in my mind.